The Curse of Oak Island. Before we get into today's video, welcome to the channel of King Tutankhamun. We upload the most incredible videos, giving you a trip through mysteries, discoveries, mythology, and topics that will definitely amaze you. We ask the biggest and craziest questions only King Tutankhamun can answer. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to get notified the next time we upload. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. What is it about Oak Island that has so many people full of curiosity and intrigue? Set in one of the 360 islands in Mahone Bay on the east coast of Nova Scotia in Canada, Oak Island has an area of 140 acres, consisting of rock and trees. Doesn't sound very intriguing, and not somewhere you would pay much attention to if it wasn't for the 224-year-old mystery. It's believed by some that the island is hiding one of the greatest stores of buried treasure ever rumored. But are the rumors true? Let's start right at the beginning, going back to the 1700s, to the story of Captain Kidd, the notorious pirate. Between the years 1690 and 1730, during the period historians call the Golden Age of piracy, many pirates were known to travel to and around the mysterious Oak Island. Captain Kidd was one of those pirates. The island was an ideal place for him and his crew to stock up on wood, water, and other provisions whilst there. It was an opportunity for them to stash their treasures and loot. Moving forward to 1799, while out on a fishing expedition, three teenage boys, Daniel McGinnis, Anthony Vaughn, and John Smith, noticed lights on Oak Island, which in itself is strange as the island is uninhabited. Upon closer inspection, they discovered a depression in the ground. Noticing that the earth had been moved in this area, they began to dig. McGinnis had heard a story involving the pirate, Captain Kidd, burying the treasure on the island, and thought perhaps they had found its resting place. After digging down to a 9-meter depth, they discovered a layer of flagstones, oak platforms, and tool marks on the wall. After digging 30 feet down, for some unclear reason the boys gave up and left the island. In the early 1770s, Anthony Vaughn and Daniel McGinnis returned to the island and took up residency there in order to continue the dig. Equipped with excavation tools, they dug down to 90 feet. With every 10 feet that was dug, another layer of stacked logs were found, along with bundles of coconut fibers. This was an exciting find, as this is what would have been used on ships to wrap their precious objects. The dig continued with much enthusiasm, until eventually they came across a large stone inscribed with mysterious symbols. Many people believe the characters on the stone read 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried, but nobody really knows for sure. The following day, disaster strikes. The shaft is flooded. This is not an unusual event, as it turned out there was an artificially created tunnel system which permanently floods the shaft with seawater. Over the years, there have been armies of treasure hunters to the island, including the later US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. As a young man, Roosevelt became interested in unveiling the secret of Oak Island and joined Captain Henry L. Bowdoin in August 1909 as part of an expedition organized by the Old Gold Salvage Group. The shaft had now become known to the treasure hunters as the Money Pit, and not even Roosevelt, with advanced excavation equipment and divers, could find hidden treasures. Despite this, Roosevelt continued to show an interest in Oak Island and all that was happening there for the rest of his life. There have been many theories over the years of what exactly is buried on Oak Island. According to local legend, a dying sailor on Captain Kidd's crew claimed that 2 million pounds worth of treasure was buried there. Dan Blankenship was a treasure hunter for 40 years, who believes a marauding 16th century Spanish galleon filled with gold from the Americas was forced to dock at Oak Island after suffering damage from bad weather. The crew buried their treasure, intending to return later with a more seaworthy ship. Needless to say though, they never returned. Some people believe that Sir Francis Bacon, a 16th century author, was actually the man behind the works of Shakespeare. Evidence from a piece of parchment paper was uncovered within the Money Pit, suggesting Bacon's original manuscripts lie within the pit. The Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant, treasures of Knights Templar, are also said to be buried on the island, after Templar symbolism was discovered there, including a Christian cross formation of rocks and a gold-plated wooden box in which the biblical 10 Commandments are kept. Another suggests the Money Pit is actually a Viking ship. The story is the ship was sucked in by the quicksand-like surfaces on Oak Island and turned vertically during the sinking process. This would explain the wooden planks found separated at intervals as backrests for the oarsmen. It is also said that Marie Antoinette instructed her lady-in-waiting during the French Revolution to take her jewels and flee. Some believe, with the help of royal aides and the French Navy, they dug the pit in which to house the jewels for safety. The jewels have never been seen since. There are also British imperial treasures believed to be buried there. After British forces captured the Cuban city of Havana, they discovered a large sum of money. As they had a naval base in Halifax, Nova Scotia, they decided that rather than let the American revolutionaries get their hands on it, they would bury it in nearby Oak Island. The Money Pit is said to be French and naval in style. This has therefore led certain researchers to the conclusion that it contains money from Fort Louisbourg, which was smuggled out before the fort was surrendered to the British. Another theory is that it's a Masonic secret vault created by the Freemasons due to the discovery within and around the pit of Masonic markings, symbols, and artifacts. The symbols on the stone uncovered from the pit are said to be the Coptic alphabet, and when translated spoke of strict religious practices, drawing the conclusion that the Coptic Christians from Egypt constructed the pit. Maybe the Money Pit is a tar-making kiln, as suggested by author Joy Steele. She suggests that Oak Island was once a star-making location of the British naval stores industry. Or maybe it's a sinkhole. After all, there's at least one other sinkhole that has been uncovered on Oak Island, and many more on the nearby mainland. The soft ground in a sinkhole would give the impression that it had been dug up before. So, there are many theories, but are any of them true? William Chappell was another prominent researcher of Oak Island. He joined in with excavations in the late 1920s. His discoveries included an axe, a fluke anchor, and a pick, which led him to believe that there had been some sort of dig in ancient times. He also unearthed what appeared to be a 250-year-old Akkadian axe, parts of an oil lamp, and a miner's pick. All of these items were found in the same place, and it still remains a mystery of how it got there. So where does the Curse of Oak Island come into it? Along with the great finds of Templar coins to the Victorian brooches from digs, there have also been a few tragedies. In 1959, Robert Restall, along with his 18-year-old son and his partner Carl Grazer, came to work on the island. In 1965, after several years of working there, they dug a shaft 27 feet deep. Robert went down alone, but was overcome by hydrogen sulfide fumes. After realizing there was a problem, his son went in to help him. Unfortunately, he too lost consciousness. Grazer, along with 2 other workers, went in there to try and save the father and the son, but sadly only one of the other workers came out alive. There is a historic legend that reads 7 people need to die before the island's treasure can be found. To this day, 6 people have lost their lives to the quest for treasure, over a period of nearly 100 years. Is it really worth another person's life just to test out the legend? In recent years, the brothers Marty and Rick Lagina have been the ones to watch quite literally. These guys have made a reality TV show documenting all of their finds for the world to see. The Lagina brothers have, since the age of 10, been fascinated with the mysterious world of hidden treasures. In 2016, the brothers purchased 50% of the Oak Island Tour Company, which includes land and the rights to any treasure found. The other half is owned by the Blankenship family. The brothers' first find was an ancient Spanish coin in the Money Pit. Later, they discover several old artifacts after draining a large hole. A fellow treasure hunter finds what appears to be a Roman sword. If found to be the real thing, it could mean that the treasures on Oak Island are a lot older than originally thought. Marty and Rick are not alone on the island in their search. They have teamed up with their friends Dan and David Blankenship and Craig Tester. They make a formidable team, and have the most success as a team as any of the hunters that came before them. One of the most prominent discoveries was a human bone that belonged to a person of Middle Eastern ancestry. The thoughts were maybe it was associated with the Knights Templar. Next was a lead cross with a square hole at the top. It was traced back to between the 1200s and the 1600s, meaning medieval. even before America was discovered by Christopher Columbus, which only makes people wonder more about how it got there. Who would have carried it to the island? Possibly the most significant discovery was the rhodolite garnet. With a beautiful purple raspberry shade, the stone is believed to be 400 to 500 years old and is most commonly found in Africa. Could this mean that there were ships sailing across the Atlantic from Africa to Oak Island? Recently, the brothers have unearthed a strange U-shaped structure, and with the use of metal detectors, they've discovered a gold-colored coin. Although it still needs to be confirmed, it is believed to date back to the 1700s, which is the time Oak Island's treasure is dated to. Could this possibly be the famed Oak Island treasure? On top of all these theories, Francis Drake is yet another notorious pirate that is thought to have possibly had an involvement with the island. Drake had the knowledge, skills, and engineering crew to create the money pit. Drake and his crew were experts at coastal mining, which would have stood them in good stead for digging under the ocean bed. Drake was also renowned for hoarding vast amounts of loot over the years, so it wouldn't be beyond him to find a safe island, drill a hole, and stash his loot there. Found in a ship's log, an entry read, "It has been agreed that a deep pit be dug, and treasure securely buried, and the pit to have a secret entrance by a tunnel from the shore." Could it be that the tunnel which keeps the pit flooded is the same tunnel discussed in these maritime logs? Oak Island has drawn so many people to its mysterious shores. It has seen people try and fail. It has seen people die trying. If there was any treasure down here, surely it would have been found by now. Or maybe the first clues are there, in the hands of the Legina brothers. After all, they are the only people so far that have found a gemstone. It is the start of the treasure trove, and it just takes a little more digging. It certainly does take great commitment to sink all of your money into 50% of the island. Maybe that's why they decided to bring it to television. I'm sure the fees paid to them will help continue their search. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and whoever shall know himself shall find it. And with that being said, we have come to the end of our video. Comment down below your thoughts. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more awesome videos like this one. This has been your King Tutankhamun. Thank you for watching.